Hey everyone, this is Unlikely Hero. Today I'm going to be continuing to play Monster Rancher 2. So, last time I acquired my first monster, Slimeson, who you can see wandering around the ranch right now. So, today I'm going to need to begin training him. But first, I want to check what some of his strengths and weaknesses are. Because, as I said in the previous video, I've not raised this breed of monster before. So, I'm hoping that I can work out a effective way to train this particular breed. So he's naturally a little stronger in skill and defense, and a little lower than average in power. That's okay. So I think in that case, I think what I'll actually do is start by increasing his power, because that's close to the next level anyway. Just to even that out a little bit. So we'll go into the drills, and we'll do domino. Now there's a very... you can see he doesn't like that. There's a very high chance that he will fail this drill, because baby monsters just tend to. They don't tend to like training. And sometimes it's also just because they lack the skill as well. So in his case, he's just not strong enough to actually knock over the final domino. So it may take a few attempts at the drill before he will be successful and actually gain points. So I now have the option to scold him. I'm not going to do that because it's the first time he's failed, and like I said, monsters can become stressed very quickly, and I would rather avoid that, especially early on. So, you can see his loyalty's gone up. That is because I have begun to train him. So, we'll just go in and we'll try the drill again. Okay, so as you can see, we have failed the drill again, and that's alright, as I said. Very common with a new monster. Okay, so what I like to do is when it says they only seem well, I let them rest that week, just to try and avoid stress and fatigue. So as you can see, having rested, he is now very well. Now, this is quite a repetitive game in general, but it certainly can feel very, very repetitive in the beginning when your monster isn't so good at the drills and is less loyal. Okay, so he has now been successful. So as you'll see, his power has increased. Once that hits 100, it should level up. And that's all I'm aiming for with his power at the moment. So it's time to feed him, and he liked milk, so we'll give him that. Luckily the milk's not too expensive. Some of the foods, it's like 300 or 500 each time to feed it. And you especially don't want to be doing that so early on in the game. Okay, so just going to carry on with the power for a moment, and I'm hoping that now that he's succeeded once, he will tend to be more successful. That might have been a cheat, actually. Yes. I don't mind that too much in this stage, because as you can see, he did still increase his skill. It just wasn't as much as it would have been if he'd done it correctly. However, he did cheat, so I think I will tell him off for this. You don't really want to get too angry at a monster too often, because your monster can actually run away if you upset it too much. And especially like a young monster, I don't want to cause him that kind of stress because he will probably run away. Okay, so he did do it correctly this time, but he just didn't succeed. It's quite funny that Colt actually seems angrier when the monster does it properly but fails than she does when it cheats. I don't know, I think that's a bit unreasonable, really. Okay, so again, we will rest him this week. Just need to quickly check something. Okay. So, I think we might hold off on the power for a while just because I don't want it to be too repetitive for you guys. So, as I said earlier, he is naturally a little better at skill and defense. Skill is basically how good a monster is at hitting another monster. It's similar to speed, but basically the opposite. Speed is how good the monster is at dodging. So your monster can be fast in that it can hit other monsters easily, but it can be not fast when it comes to dodging. Defense is pretty self-explanatory. So I find, especially early on, skill is a very good one to train up, because if you are in the earlier ranks and you are the one who's actually consistently hitting the other monsters, that does tend to work in your favour, even if you're not doing masses of damage. So we're going to go in and do Shoot, which will train his skill. Again, he might fail this, but the first 6 months to a year of training a monster can be a bit dodgy. But he has succeeded that one, and I don't know if this is how it works. I've never looked into it, but it does seem that if a monster is more naturally proficient to begin with, that it will be more successful in that drill from the get-go. So I don't know if you've noticed the change in music, but that's actually because the season has just changed, which is quite an important aspect of the game. There's various seasonal tournaments, and there's also some other seasonal related events too. Okay, so Colt is just telling us about the official tournament, which is always at the end of the month. And it's the official tournament that you really need to focus on. There are other tournaments, but the official one is the one that, if you win it, you will move up the rank. I'm going to try Domino again, now that he's had some success. He still does not like that. So we can actually skip that, which is what I tend to do normally. Okay, so his power has leveled up now, so I'll probably leave the power at that. Okay. So it's time to rest him again. I do have a sort of formula for how I play this game. It's not completely set in stone. It does vary slightly depending on different circumstances. Now you can see my training style at the moment is soft. That does tend to be how I raise my monsters. I don't like it when they're upset. Okay, so yeah. So this is the official tournament, and that's rank E, which is the first one. I can actually also enter D. You can always enter one rank higher than you actually are if you want to. But it is a bit more of a risk because the monsters in it will be more powerful, so it depends how much training you've been doing. I'm not going to enter the official tournament this time because I don't think Slimeson's ready. So if I scroll along, you'll see the next one is in the next season. So I'll be aiming for that one at the end of September, which just gives me a bit more time to get him a bit more loyal, which will be helpful in the tournaments, but I'll explain aspects of the tournament more when I actually enter one. Nope, sorry to disappoint you, Colt, but not this time. So hopefully we should start to see more consistent success with the drills, especially the ones that I've done more than once now. As a monster gets older, as you've been training for longer, it's less likely to fail at the drills. Okay, so Slimeson is stressed out, which we want to avoid, so this is quite a good time for me to show you the item shop. So, go there. I don't know if I should be offended at that. I mean, technically, I am not new to the business. I've been playing this game for years. Okay, so basically this shop is where you'll come for most of your items. You can acquire items in other ways, such as winning tournaments, but the vast majority of basic items you'll get in here. So what I'm looking for today is mint leaf. So I'm going to buy a few of these. Not masses at the moment because I don't have a huge amount of money, having just started out. But as you can see, the mint leaf relaxes your monster and will reduce its stress. So ideally, you actually want to use it before Colt tells you that your monster is stressed out, because by the time she says that, it's actually too late and the stress has taken some time off of your monster's lifespan, as morbid as that sounds. But I'm going to give these to Slimeson anyway, because it should help. Because otherwise he is likely to stay stressed, and Colt will continue to tell me, and his lifespan will just continue to go down, and I would end up losing him within 3 years in game, which is not very long at all. So, I'm going to go back to the training. Okay, I have just noticed that I am coming up to the time limit for my uploads on YouTube, so this is rest week anyway, but I am going to leave it at this for this one. So hopefully next time I'll get a little further with the training, and it might be hopefully a little more exciting. Hopefully it's at least been informative this time. So I'll see you guys in the next video.